and welcome to the Gamers Table Independent Edition. It is Friday, and we are reviewing Best Spud. It's sort of cartoony, but it's very consistent. It's nice, clean artwork. It looks like it could be in some sort of animated show, which, sort of goes with the theme. The sun is setting, and it's time to kick back for the weekend. There's nothing in this world you would love more than watching movies on the projector in your home theater. Unfortunately, that's all your roommates want to do too. You couldn't be where you are today if you weren't the type to yield, but neither could they. There's only one way to get control of the projector and enough movie reels to last the weekend. You'll have to fight for them. There's just one little issue. You're all couch potatoes. You and your roommates are too lackadaisical to actually solve this problem for yourselves. Instead, you're going to send your enchanted pillow minions into battle for you. To the victor go the spoils, but the only way to be the best Spud is to beat your best buds.
The game pretty much dictates what you do. And then there's the randomness of the dice rolling.
First of all, you draw up to 5 cards. If your first turn, you discard any spells. Otherwise, the next thing you do is play your spells on other players. And they can have counter spells that possibly will stop the spell or bounce it back at you, depending on whether or not they have Spud affinity. The cards, and the way the cards are played sort of dictates. I mean, you draw your 5 cards. If you have spells, you must play them. If they can't play, they must be discarded. Okay, well, there's those ones out of my hand. If there are any limited players, you go the blight phase and possibly play one of their cards onto the table. Then you play 1 or 2 cards from your queue. If none of them will actually work against anybody because I don't have a pillow out, well then I have to just throw one away. Now I've thrown more cards away. And then after that, you fill your queue back up to 2 cards that are face down. And now I got to refill that. Out of these, well, what if none of these can be played from the queue? Well, if you have no other cards, you have to put it in there anyway. And then your turn's end, and it moves on to the next guy.
I like the humor. Yeah, that's fine. You know, the artwork on it for an independent is pretty good. It's not bad.
You can't play any attack cards on anyone else unless you have a pillow in front of you. And that's basically you're attacking the pillows.
Mm-hmm. And, well, for defense, they're really kind of harming you. Because if the guy rolls successfully, he's gaining more reels. If you don't have any defense out, they get 1 reel. You know, it's called a cheap shot. So you don't have any defense, okay, I get 1 reel. If you have defenses out and I beat it, oh, now I'm getting 3 reels. That's not much of it.
It seems like it goes on for a little too long when you have to collect 20 of those reels from your other players, and a lot of times you're only getting 1. Sometimes you can get 2 or 3 or even 4, but most of the time you're getting 1 or none. And having to get 20 can take a lot of time. You all have a stack of 20 of these reels that you put the stickers supplied with the game on to make them look like movie reels. And to win the game, you need to get 20 of these from your opponents and have the projector card. You get the projector card every time you successfully launch a spell attack against somebody.
I had a question. I'm pretty sure about this. If you lose all your movie reels too, you become out of the game?
You're
done. Yeah.
So there is player elimination in this game.
You turn your card over that side to show your blight, and what happens then is you have a queue of 4 cards instead of two. And then all the other players on their turns during the blight phase play 1 of the cards out of your queue as well. So basically you become just a card feeder for everybody else, but you still have to sit there and play the game, even though you're not playing the game anymore.
The game pretty much plays itself. You got everyone knows basic strategies of games, and the game pretty much plays itself. You might as well save some time, roll a dice, whoever rolls the highest wins.
There's not a lot of choice or major strategy in this game.
You get points from people by destroying their pillows, and you can't play an attack card on their pillows unless you have a pillow in front of you. So in order to attack, you have to make yourself vulnerable to attack. Which is alright, I guess. But, like Ken says...
You could be attacked if you don't have a pillow. It's called the cheap shot, and it goes directly against you.
Oh, yeah.
That's when the dice rolls come in.
You can only ever get 1 reel from that.
You get bigger reward from actually nailing the person's pillows.
Getting rid of the pillows is big. And, it's almost hurts you to put the defense out there, because if you have no defense, you're only losing 1 reel at a time. If they successfully beat your defense, they're getting a bigger bonus. But
at the same time, you're not going to win unless you have the pillow. Because if you don't have one out, you can't attack.
And you can't.
And then it just
without
comes
having
down
a
to
pillow in
the
front of you.
dice roll what you get. So.
Okay, so wrapping up for best Spud.
I'm gonna give it a 5. It's kind of fun, just for a time waster, but at the same time, the game just seems to just play itself by whatever you draw.
I'll give Best Spud a 3. For us, this wasn't very fun, but maybe for a game of
Maybe some
younger
younger,
kids,
yeah.
they would have fun with it.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, I can agree with that.
but
yeah.
for me, no.
Mhm.
For me, the overview was the best part of the game, where they talk about a bunch of couch potatoes fighting over the movie projector and getting the most movie reels. That made the game sound like it would be a lot of fun, but it wasn't implemented very well.
If we go by the criteria that I always judge games by, does it have a good theme? Well,
Yeah.
the theme holds
Theme's
together
not
with it.
bad.
Is it hard to teach somebody to play? No, it's not hard to teach somebody to play.
Not really.
But the third leg of my trifecta of gaming, is it fun? It's not a whole lot of fun because we've been saying, you almost seemed like, okay, I draw my 5 cards, I must play that and that. Now I must play that and that. Now I must do this and this. I really didn't have much in the way of decision making there. I just
Yeah.
had to do that. You decide what you put in your cube, but sometimes the cards you have in your hand, none of them are any good, and you're forced to fill your cube up with stuff that you'd rather keep the counter spells in your hand, but you have to fill your cube.
I give Best Spud a 5.
There, that wraps it up for this edition of Gamers Table Independent.
Tune in again next week for another review of another game.
See you,
That's
bye.
what we do.
Hey! No, I tried to make a noise grab. Hey! Actually,
What the hell am I doing?
What are you doing?
I'm grabbing the. Don't grab the green ones.
Why?
Everyone has a stack of
Oh,
20.
the green one. You mean this?
I'm saying it would be really freaky if we all did
Oh.
the review like
Oh,
this.
no, look on.
Well, our eyes are gone.
Let's do that.
Zombies.
My eyes fell out.
We all got
Oh.
holes in our heads.
Anyway.
Anyway, you all have a stack. Sorry about that.